Leaves crunch underfoot, the air cools, and suddenly your home feels ready for a cozy refresh. Why settle for the same old pumpkin candle when fall house decorations can turn any room into a warm, inviting retreat? Imagine a mantle covered in velvet pumpkins or a hallway lined with pressed leaf art. These ideas aren't just for show, they create a mood. Ready to give your space a harvest glow? Let's turn everyday corners into autumn's best hideouts. Velvet pumpkins bring a soft, playful twist to autumn decor. Their rich colors and textures catch the eye, making any mantle feel warm and inviting. Antique brass candlesticks add a sense of history and contrast beautifully with the plush pumpkins. Try mixing candle heights for more visual interest. This setup works well in both modern and traditional homes. However, velvet pumpkins can collect dust, so quick dusting helps them stay fresh. Brass candlesticks may tarnish, but a little polish brings back the shine. Why not let your mantle become a conversation starter this fall? Hand-painted acorn garlands bring a dash of whimsy and warmth to your entryway mirrors. Each acorn, with its brushstroke details, offers a nod to the changing season. Guests notice the effort. It's a simple yet striking way to create an inviting mood right as people step inside. Making your own garland can be a fun afternoon project, especially with kids. But be warned, acorns can be tricky to paint if they're not cleaned and dried properly. Use a fishing line or sturdy twine for draping. Try mixing metallic and matte paints for extra visual interest. Muted plaid throw pillows add a calm, homey vibe to your living room. Their understated patterns complement nearly any color scheme. Pair them with simple cinnamon stick bundles tied with twine on the sofa for a subtle nod to autumn. This combo smells inviting and looks effortlessly stylish. You don't need to splurge. Use leftover fabric for DIY pillow covers. Tuck cinnamon sticks into a small jar or tie them with ribbon for a rustic touch. These touches create warmth without overwhelming your space. Just watch out. Guests might linger, soaking in the cozy atmosphere, and maybe the scent. Think of a birch log centerpiece as the silent star of your table. Faux moss adds a splash of green that doesn't wilt, while LED fairy lights create warmth without the fire hazard. This combo offers a woodland vibe in minutes. No green thumb or electrical know-how needed. You can adapt this idea for any table size. Just trim your birch log to fit, fill it with moss, and weave in fairy lights. Want extra character? Tuck in pine cones or dried berries. The only real drawback, you may have to explain to guests it's not a terrarium. Stacking old suitcases on your porch offers a clever base for fall displays. Top them with colorful gourds, think warty pumpkins and striped squash. Toss in dried florals like wheat or eucalyptus for height and texture. This arrangement tells a story, mixing nostalgia with the season's abundance. Not every suitcase will handle the weather. Use thrifted finds you don't mind getting scuffed, or tuck the stack under a covered entry. Rotate out the gourds as they age. This approach makes updates simple and keeps your porch looking fresh, even as fall marches on. Pressed leaf art brings nature indoors in the simplest way. Gather bright, crisp leaves during a walk, press them between heavy books, and frame the best ones. Hang them in clusters for instant warmth and character. Friends will ask if you hired a decorator. Just smile and let them wonder. Frames don't need to match. In fact, mixing old and new frames adds charm. This project costs little, but the effect is cheerful and inviting. Just be sure to fully dry the leaves to avoid mold. Enjoy a hallway that celebrates fall every time you walk through. Imagine curling up with a warm mug, your feet propped on a sturdy apple basket. A thick, chunky knit blanket draped across your lap adds instant comfort. This simple setup turns any corner into a snug hideaway, perfect for crisp autumn afternoons. Who wouldn't want to pause and unplug here? While the chunky blanket brings texture and warmth, the apple basket stool offers both charm and practicality. It stores your latest reads or a few apples for snacking. One caution: baskets with loose weaving may not support heavy weight, so choose wisely. Small touches like these create a peaceful, inviting retreat. Placing a woven basket filled with pampas grass and golden wheat by the fireplace creates a cozy, autumn-inspired look. These natural elements add texture and warmth, making the room feel inviting. Plus, they last much longer than fresh flowers. Want an easy update? Try switching out your greenery for this arrangement. However, dust can be an issue if you have allergies. Give the arrangement a gentle shake outside every few weeks. This simple trick keeps your display fresh and guests comfortable. Why settle for artificial pumpkins when you can bring in the real charm of harvest season? Amber glass bottles with maroon and burnt orange stems bring a warm, nostalgic touch to any space. They catch the sunlight, casting a cozy glow across your table or mantel. Placing several together creates instant autumn charm. Anyone can do this, and you don't need a florist's skills or deep wallet. However, these bottles need occasional dusting, or the effect can go from elegant to neglected fast. Stick to odd numbers for arrangements. That's a decorator's trick. Want more color? Tuck a few golden leaves or dried pods with the stems. Simple, effective, and no fuss. Imagine your front door greeting guests with a DIY macrame crescent moon wreath. This project mixes cozy texture with autumn symbols. Think mini pine cones and feathery accents. You don't need expert skills, just patience and some string. It's a budget-friendly way to add charm without buying mass-produced stuff. Start by shaping wire into a crescent, then knot cotton cord for that subtle boho twist. Tuck in pine cones and feathers, using a glue gun if needed. The best part? You customize the vibe, rustic, whimsy, or chic. If you're allergic to dust, though, skip real feathers and choose faux options. Oversized houndstooth table runners bring a bold graphic punch to fall tables. The pattern feels both classic and current, making it a smart pick for those tired of overdone pumpkins. Add copper lanterns, warm glowing light softens the geometric lines, while the metallic finish echoes autumn's golden tones. Fresh eucalyptus branches add another layer. Their silvery green leaves offer texture and fragrance, breaking up the runner's sharp pattern. Yes, eucalyptus dries out, but that only adds character over time. Want to keep things simple? Use battery candles in your lanterns and swap eucalyptus for faux if allergies are a concern. Imagine glancing at your windowsill and spotting a playful squirrel figurine peeking through a patch of soft moss. This quirky setup brings a touch of woodland charm indoors. It's easy too, just layer real or faux moss, then arrange your figurines as if they're mid-adventure. The best part, these decorations invite smiles without demanding much work. Squirrels add a dash of mischief, while the moss softens harsh edges. However, be mindful if real moss is used. Occasional misting keeps it fresh, but overwatering turns your sill into a swamp faster than you'd think. Stained glass leaf sun catchers bring a splash of autumn color to any window, catching sunlight and scattering it across your room like confetti. They're easy to hang and instantly shift the mood, adding warmth even on chilly days. Why settle for dull panes when your window can shimmer with reds and golds? Making your own isn't as tricky as you'd think. Kits are available, or you can grab a few glass paints and let your creativity run wild. These sun catchers offer a quick refresh, but watch out, fragile pieces need careful cleaning. Still, isn't the sparkle worth a little extra care? Stacking vintage books creates instant charm on any table or mantel. Add hand-lettered gratitude quotes to each cover, and you blend nostalgia with a personal touch. Why settle for generic signs when old hardcovers can carry your favorite autumn sayings? Even better, thrift shops make finding these treasures affordable and fun. However, getting the lettering right may take some practice. Use acrylic paint pens for crisp results, or try stencils if your handwriting is wild as a fall breeze. Arrange them with pumpkins or candles for a cozy display that sparks conversation and reminds guests to count their blessings. Try gathering fallen branches on a crisp walk. Nature's free art supplies. Press colorful autumn leaves between books for a week, then string them together with fishing line. Add a few crystals for some sparkle. Hang the mobile in a window for a visual poem that changes with the light. This project costs little and brings a touch of the outdoors inside, but it's not for the impatient. Pressing leaves takes days, and fragile materials need gentle hands. Still, the result is a conversation starter and a reminder to slow down and notice the small wonders right outside your door. Imagine a cozy nook lit by a shadow box glowing with cutout paper trees, swirling leaves, and tiny woodland creatures. These scenes offer a warm, gentle way to bring autumn inside. You can craft them using a simple craft knife, colored cardstock, and a string of battery fairy lights. Creating these boxes is easier than you'd think. Choose layered silhouettes, a fox here, a squirrel there. Stack and space them for a 3D effect. While stunning, they do take patience and a steady hand. If you rush, paper tears easily, but the magical glow on a chilly evening, completely worth it. Minimalist pumpkin vases bring a fresh spin to autumn decor. Hollow out a small pumpkin, pop in a glass jar, and fill it with wildflowers and seed pods. This simple arrangement adds color and texture without crowding your space. Plus, it's easy to swap blooms as the season changes. Unlike elaborate centerpieces, a pumpkin vase keeps things effortless. The natural shape and earthy palette suit nearly any room. Be wary of overwatering. Pumpkins can get mushy fast. If you want longevity, try dried seed pods or faux stems for a similar effect, minus the mess. Velvet mushroom clusters make a quirky, eye-catching entryway accent. Their soft texture and rich, autumnal colors add a playful twist to traditional fall decor. Place them in a rustic basket or on a wooden tray for extra warmth. Guests might even ask if you picked them from a fairy tale. While these arrangements grab attention, dust can collect on velvet. A quick weekly brush keeps things fresh. Pair the mushrooms with small gourds or dried leaves for balance. If you crave something different from pumpkins, this option gives your entryway a bold, memorable introduction. A cozy tea station brings warmth to any autumn home. Arrange glass jars of chai, apple spice, and herbal blends within easy reach. Stash bundles of cinnamon sticks nearby. Guests will love swirling them in their mugs. Add honey, dried orange slices, and a quirky kettle for extra charm and convenience. This setup isn't just inviting, it encourages connection. People linger, chat, and experiment with flavors. It's a simple way to make your space feel welcoming. One caution: keep the area tidy. Spilled tea leaves everywhere? Not so inviting. A quick wipe keeps things looking and smelling delightful. A mossy terrarium centerpiece adds a touch of whimsy to any fall table. Lush green moss, nestled in a clear glass vessel, brings the forest to your home. Tuck in tiny woodland animal figurines, think foxes, owls, or hedgehogs, for playful charm that sparks conversation. This setup is low maintenance and reusable. Simply mist the moss once a week and reposition the figurines to keep things fresh. While it's a fun project for kids and adults, sourcing quality moss and lifelike figurines can take a bit of hunting. Still, the result is worth the effort. Abstract watercolor tapestries in ochre, rust, and olive instantly set an autumn mood. These colors mimic falling leaves and cozy firesides, making any space feel warmer. Drape one across a blank wall, and suddenly you have a focal point that whispers, "Yes, I've got style and I love fall." However, not everyone finds abstract patterns soothing. Some may see chaos instead of beauty. If you're hesitant, start with a smaller tapestry or use it as a table runner. Pair with neutral furniture to let those earthy tones shine without overwhelming the room. Sometimes, less is more, unless you're a maximalist at heart. Gilded pinecone wind chimes bring a touch of harvest gold to any porch or balcony. Their shimmer catches sunlight and adds a cheery glow, even on brisk afternoons. You only need pine cones, metallic spray paint, twine, and a wooden ring. Hang them at varying lengths for a playful, layered effect. Think about the gentle clinking sound on breezy evenings, nature's music with a dash of autumn sparkle. However, moisture can dull their shine over time. Try sealing the paint with a clear coat for longer-lasting glimmer. This easy craft adds style and a bit of whimsy without breaking the bank. Old sweaters hiding in your closet can become cozy fall pillow covers. Snip off the sleeves, stitch up the sides, and you've got a snug new accent for your sofa. Add a felt oak leaf by hand, and suddenly your living room whispers autumn with every glance. Making these covers isn't rocket science, but it does take a bit of patience. The texture of knit fabrics may stretch, so pin before you sew. Choose bold thread colors for the oak leaves. Contrast makes them pop. You'll save money, reduce waste, and create something far more inviting than anything off the rack. Bringing these fall house decorations into your home is less about following trends and more about creating warmth and comfort. Who wouldn't want their living room to smell faintly of cinnamon, or their mantle to glow with fairy lights and soft velvet pumpkins? Try one or two ideas, or mix several for extra charm. Don't worry about perfection. Autumn celebrates the beauty in little details. So grab those acorns, fluff those pillows, and watch your space turn into a cozy retreat as the leaves turn gold.